Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming. I'm your host Richard and today we are back with Pokemon TCGO or Pokemon Trading Card Game Online if you want to say the full name. Today we are going to be looking at a new card that's kind of been making its way into more and more decks, and that is the Mega Manectric EX card. Now, Mega Manectric EX, of course, it's the Mega Evolution card of Manectric EX, and it's got the attack Turbo Bolt. For 2 energies, you do 110 damage, which is really good, actually. And its secondary ability is you attach 2 basic energies from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So it's got the Energy Acceleration, plus Turbo Bolt will knock out things like Pyroar in one shot. It will knock out Lugia and Yveltal EX because of weakness in one shot. And it does quite a bit of damage to a lot of other Pokemon, setting them up for knockouts for your other Pokemon. So we got the Manectric EX, and of course, or Mega Manectric EX. Of course, that Mega evolves from Manectric EX. Not a bad card in its own right. Overrun does 20 to your opponent's active and 20 to your opponent's bench. A lot like the Landorus EX, but instead of doing the 10 more damage, you get the colorless energy instead of having a specific energy do 30 and 30. Manectric EX also has the attack Assault Laser, which for 2 energy does 60 damage, and it does 60 more damage if your opponent's active Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached to it, which we'll get into that in just a little bit, how that's going to work out for us. Now, a lot of people won't run the Mega Evolutions because of the Mega Evolution rule, where you have to end your turn if you Mega Evolve, but we have the Manectric Spirit Link, which is a new tool that was introduced in the set that Manectric came out in. And what you do is you attach this Manectric EX, and then when you Mega Evolve, it doesn't end your turn. So that allows you to play it a little more easily because you're able to attack in the same turn. Now, this deck only runs 1 Manectric, 1 Mega Manectric, and 1 Spirit Link. Typically, people run 2, but I've found this works out well. I wouldn't mind having 2, but one of the big things is I don't have 2 Manectric EX right now, so. But it works out well because then I'm able to get everything else I want in here. Now, I was talking about how Overrun, the 60 plus 60 if there's a tool attached. Well, we run the new Team Flare Hyper Gear Headringer, which is a tool card you attach to your opponent's Pokemon to make it so that, first of all, all of their attacks cost an extra colorless energy, and then if you're a Manectric, you're doing 120 damage to them as well, which is very, very good. So that's why we run 2 Headringer in this deck. But aside from that, Manectric has been splashed with like Yveltal, Mewtwo, not Garbodor, but yeah, Garbodor as well. But Landorus is what I was trying to say. But I'm running the Virizion Genesect variation of this. So, of course, we're going to be having the Virizion EX with the Verdant Wind ability. Any Pokemon that has a Grass-type energy on your side of the field cannot be affected. Sorry, I'm missing my words here. By special conditions such as Poison, Sleep, Confusion, Burn. I think that's all of them, actually. Poison, Sleep, Confusion, Burn. Paralysis is the other one. And then Emerald Slash for 2 energy. It does 50 damage, and you get 2 basic grass energies from your deck. So that works out well. As that also saves you some time here. Or has some energy acceleration. I don't know where my words are right now. But our main attacker for the deck is going to be Genesect EX. With the Red Signal ability, you can attach a Plasma Energy from your hand to Genesect, and it acts as a Pokemon Catcher or a Lysander. You just bring up one of your opponent's Pokemon from the bench to the active, and then Megalo Cannon attack does 3 damage, or just for 3 energy. Jesus, today I don't know what it is with me today. 3 energy it does 100 damage plus 20 more damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Now that's all fine and dandy, but we also want to run the G-Booster Aceback. It's a Pokemon tool card that can only be attached to Genesect EX. I mean, it can be attached to anything, but it doesn't work on anything but Genesect EX. For the same 3 energy, G-Booster does 200 damage, and you have to discard 2 energy card. What's the nice thing about G-Booster is not does it only knock out almost every Pokemon in the game, it gets around a lot of abilities that stop Genesect from attacking it. because G Booster itself is doing the attack, instead of Genesect, it gets around abilities like Pyroar's Intimidating Mane, it gets around Suicune and Sigilus Safeguard, uh, and those kind of things. I believe it also goes around tools. I'm not 100% sure on that, like Rocky Helmet and Rock Guard. I'm pretty sure it does, because it's the item attacking, not the Pokemon itself. So we got the G Booster, and other Pokemon are running this deck. We have Jirachi X, only for its Stellar Guidance ability. It's never going to be attacking. We don't have the energy for it, and Jirachi's attack isn't very good anyway. But Stellar Guidance, you play Jirachi from your hand to the bench, and you get to find a supporter card from your deck. So that's always pretty fun. Unfortunately, Jirachi X does have 90 HP, so you kind of want to protect him so he's not getting knocked out easily for 2 easy prize cards for your opponent. We also have the Mewtwo EX. We use the X-Ball attack on this one. 20 times the amount of energy attached to both Mewtwo and your opponent's defending Pokemon. It's just another one of those cards you can throw into any deck, really, because it's colorless energies for that attack. And then, like I mentioned before, Sigilith and Suicune are a problem because the EXs block it, and we don't always want to be G-boostering. So I also have a Tropius in here. Does 10 damage with return, and you get to draw 6 until you have 6 cards in your hand. Energy Press is the big one, though. Does 20 plus 20 for each energy attached to defending Pokemon. So Tropius will knock out a fully powered Sigilith with a Muscle Band. So unless you can get some damage off on it some other way first, you could do return and then Energy Press once it's fully energized, and you'll be able to knock out. And we also have Virizion. You could run just 2 Tropius or 2 Virizion. I run one of each just for funsies. Virizion's got the double draw attack. You draw 2 cards, and then it has Leaf Wallop. For 2 energies, does 40 damage, and then the following turn, Leaf Wallop does 40 more. So that will take 2 hits as well for Sigilith. Suicune is weak to both Virizion and Tropius, so Tropius could knock out Suicune. Virizion still needs 2 turns to knock it out, unless you have a Muscle Band. So those guys are specifically in there for Sigilith and Suicune. And then our other cards, we have 2 Bicycles, nice draw card, 2 Energy Switch, in case we want energy off of our Virizions after they're done Emerald Slashing. We have 2 Enhanced Hammers, just to slow down our opponent a little bit. 1 Escape Rope. 1 Starling Megaphone, in case Garbodor gets set up. We don't want him getting set up so that our Verdant Wind is gone, and our Red Signal. We have 3 Ultra Ball. 2 Versus Seeker to get back supporters. And speaking of supporters, we have 2 Chorus, 4 N, 4 Professor Sycamore, 1 Shadow Triad. We only run 1 because we have the Versus Seekers now, so we don't need as many of them. We have 1 Skyla. We already talked about G-Booster, Mega, and the Manectric Spirit Link. We have 2 Muscle Bands. This could go on Virizion, it could go on Manectric's going to have the Spirit Link, so probably not, but the other Genesect as well. We talked about Headringer. We have for the Plasma Energy. This is specifically for Genesect to use its ability. It can be attached to other Pokemon, but there's not a dire need to. We also have 10 Grass Energy and 4 Electric Energy. Now that we've gone over the deck, I'm going to grab you guys a battle here, see what we can do with this thing, and show you how this deck works. Alright guys, so with this deck, typically we're going to be wanting to go first, because hopefully you're getting your Virizion EX to start off with, and then you can start getting Emerald Slash set up. But this deck also works going second because of Tropius and Virizion. And it looks like we're going up against a Donphan deck. Now, Donphan decks can be a problem for this deck, but you want to rely on Genesect's Red Signal to start getting out the Donphans to blast them. And unfortunately, Manectric does not match up well against this deck, but what are you going to do? So I will start out with Manectric. Unfortunately, we don't want to play Jirachi, especially against a Donphan deck. He does start off with a Fanfy, and that's really bad because we got Manectric. I think I will just attach to Manectric. Either way, well, probably not for the best. I probably should have attached a Genesect, thinking about it now, but we're already ending, so what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I can make it so this Phanpy can't attack us next turn. I guess, oh, that's right, Headringer only goes on to Pokemon EX, unfortunately. So, we won't be able to do that, but as long as this Phanpy doesn't get too much damage off on us, we will be able to knock it out next turn, as long as we get our Spirit Link. So he does just go for the attack. Does quite a bit of damage to us, but we're able to live it. Now, I'm going to attach to the Manectric. We will get 40 damage off on this little Phanpy, but I'm going to try and go for the Spirit Link and the Manectric, and try and get back the Mega Manectric. Hopefully it works out for us, and we do see the Sigilith on the bench, so we're going to want to find Tropius and Virizion. We do find Virizion, but no Spirit Link or anything. So I will play Virizion. I can get 60 damage off on this Donphan, but I don't think it's worth it. Well, yeah, I don't want too much happening to my thing. So I'll attach the Muscle Band to Genesect just to kind of try and stop the Headringers, though Donphan decks typically don't play Headringers, so we shouldn't have to worry about it too much. I really don't want my energy going to waste, but then the electric energy is also going to waste. So I am just going to energy switch to the Virizion. Pokemon TCGO has been a little slow today. And then we are going to retreat our Manectric, save it for later. We can possibly get off some kind of attack with it, but I'm not too worried about it. And then I'll just double draw for 2 cards. So this Phanpy won't be getting too much damage off on us, even if it evolves into Donphan. It's only going to do 60, because we're just a Virizion, unless he gets like Muscle Band or another strong energy on it. But he shouldn't be knocking out Virizion this turn. That's the nice thing about having Virizion and Tropius as well. First off, Tropius resist fighting type Pokemon. And both of them are basic, so Donphan isn't getting as many boosts as it would against a Pokemon EX. So here comes Donphan. And he grabbed the Professor's Lair with Karina. Karina is one of those cards you're going to be seeing anytime you go against a fighting deck, especially Donphan, because they're able to grab a Donphan and a item card. We'll see an Ultra Ball for another Phanpy, just trying to get more Pokemon set up here. And unfortunately, we are kind of behind the ball right now, starting off with Manectric and then having to retreat it. But that's what you're going to have to deal with sometimes. I'm trying to decide. I have a lot of supporters in my hand. I don't necessarily want to get rid of them all. I could Ultra Ball 2 of them away and then use the Professor Sycamore, but I think I'm just going to opt to go for Chorus here. Because we get the same amount of cards as we would with a Professor Sycamore without getting rid of them. And we do get a Grass Energy, so we can Leaf Wallop this turn. Or we can just attach it to Genesect and start getting more cards out. So then we can eventually attack with Genesect and hopefully knock something out here. We do draw the Virizion, so I'm going to play that because it will help us out in the long run. I do have the Escape Rope. I kind of want to I kind of want to save that in case he wants to bring up Sigilith at any point. Excuse me. And I will go for the double draw attack, just getting 2 more energies, or 2 more cards, that is, which we do get a G-Booster, so we will be able to knock out a Donphan at some point, which will work well for us. I'm thinking we'll attach the Grass to... Unfortunately, I already have that Muscle Band on the Genesect I'm powering up, so I won't be able to use G-Booster unless he plays a Starling Megaphone. He does play a Lysander, probably bringing up Manectric. Yep, bringing up Manectric, because it's going to be an easy knockout if he brings Donphan back up. But he does just attack with the Phanpy, so we should be able to save our Manectric for another turn, actually. I can play Escape Rope, and he'll probably just bring up Robo Sub. But again, we're saving our Manectric, and actually, if he does bring up Robosub, I'll just bring up Virizion to double draw, and then he'll have to discard his Robosub, so it will have been in vain. He does bring up the Donphan, which is curious. Donphan, unfortunately, does have 130 HP, but it does set up our Genesect to Megalo Cannon it on the bench. So what I'm going to do, bring out Genesect, attach a Grass Energy, play the Energy Switch to take the energy off of Virizion, and attach it to Genesect. Now I could have brought in the Virizion EX and attacked with that, which would also have been probably a better play, to be honest, but what are you going to do? I'm thinking about Mega Evolving my Manectric this turn, which I actually am going to do, just to try and save it in case he wants to attack with that Fan P again on it. Yeah, there's the Spear Link. So our Head Ringers are going to be, excuse me, basically useless in this matchup, just because Donphan decks typically don't play any EX Pokemon. They used to play the Landorus EX when they first started out, but it's honestly not worth it, because you want to make your opponent take all 6 of those prize cards. They do play the Computer Search, probably grabbing a Professor Sycamore. No, a Colress, in fact. It does get him more cards, so makes sense. But typically you go for Sycamore when you don't have any Pokemon or any cards in your hand. He does play the Sterling Megaphone. Unfortunately, a little too late for us, because we won't get the G-Booster boost, but oh, he wants to play Headringer. Okay. So this Donphan deck does play Headringer. Fortunately, his Donphan isn't going to be doing enough to knock us out, so I will be able to knock that Donphan out off of the bench. If we can get a Plasma Energy, though, I think we'll be in a little bit better of a situation, because although we won't knock out the... We don't get one. Although, I was going to say, although we don't knock out the Donphan off this Donphan, because it has 110... I will just play the Electric Energy onto my Genesect. And we are going to go for the Megalo Cannon attack. It does 0 to Sigilith, but we can still hit the Donphan on the bench and knock it out. So our first Donphan is down, and we haven't given up any prizes yet, which works out very well. And he's going to have to get a Float Stone or a Switch or something to bring the Sigilith back. So as long as the Sigil is active, we can hit Pokemon off the bench. He's gonna keep powering up that Donphan, and he's gonna end trying to find that Switch card. Hopefully he doesn't get it, and we do get a Plasma Energy. Because although we won't, oh, he does get the Switch, so this Donphan is gonna hurt. It's doing 100 damage right now, which will knock out our Genesect. So there goes a lot of energy. Unfortunately. And he brings up the Robo Sub, so I am going to, in fact, bring up my own Virizion. Just because, again, it's not a card that I necessarily need. Although there is Sigilith, we can get around it still. And I do draw the Enhanced Hammer, so I can actually get rid of one of Donphan's energies. So that's going to be 2 strong energies in the discard pile, which is nice because you can only play 4 strong energies since they are special energies. We do draw a Plasma Energy, so I want to hold on to that. And I'm just going to go for the double draw attack. Because Robosub can't attack, and you can't retreat. You have to discard it to get it out of the active position, which works out sort of well for the Donphan, because then it can bring it right up without having to switch or anything. But then you're also getting rid of your Robosub. And it allowed me to draw 2 cards for free, basically, because I didn't have to knock out that Pokemon. He does play an N, which we do keep our Plasma Energy, but he does knock out our Virizion. I am just going to bring up my other Virizion EX here. We are giving a lot of prizes, unfortunately, but we are also going to be able to... if the Sigilith stays active, be able to get some nice energy draw going here. I'm going to check because I did draw another enhanced hammer. He doesn't have any strong energies out yet, so I will opt to not play that because I can't. I'll just attach to Virizion, or should I attach to Manectric, get off a big attack at some point. Well, I'm gonna avoid having Manectric up front. Although a lot of our energy is in the discard right now, and it'd be nice to get off an attack, I don't really want to be throwing more prizes at my opponent since he's already taken 3. And he does have 3 Donphan out here, which is going to make it a little harder. He's going to start powering up his other Donphan, most likely going for the Wreck attack. Alright, so we are going to Emerald Slash here. It won't do any damage to the Sigilith, but we will be able to get our energy out of our deck still. And we do have 4 Grass energy, which will allow us to power up one of our, or both of our Genesects actually. And there's the possibility of still having Electric energies. I probably should have looked just to see, but I'm not too concerned about it right now. He does play the Strong energy, so I will be able to knock that one off, which I will do right now. Bop, get out of here. And then I'm actually thinking about Tropius. I will play Tropius. And because tracking is actually weak to Virizion, and it does have that giant retreat cost, I will play my Plasma Energy on Genesect now, just to bring up that Trachian, and hopefully get another prize card off of it. And then I can Professor Sycamore. It is going to bring us down to 9 cards, but we do get 2 of our Plasma Energies, and we do get a G Booster. So I'm going to save that in my hand for now. I'm not expecting another Head Ringer coming from my opponent, so I will just opt for the Emerald Slash. It does knock out Tracking 1 hit, and we are out of energies now because I did draw them off the Professor Sycamore, unfortunately, but what are you going to do? We're probably going to see another spinning turn off this Donphan, which I would rather have the Donphan up active, but again, what are you going to do? It does look like he's going to spinning turn out into Sigilith, which will work out for us because we do have Plasma Energies in hand. So I will just retreat into my Genesect. I don't know why I'm thinking so much about this. Retreat into Genesect. I'll attach the Plasma Energy to my other Genesect. I could have attached to my active one and then had... Actually, that's what I should have done, but it's too late now. I kind of want to take out the one that's got the most stuff on it, just because he's going to build up for a big attack. I'll attach the G Booster to this Genesect, and then I'll be able to attack. Unfortunately, with G Booster instead of Megalocannon, I would have preferred to have Megalocannon at the ready, but at this point, what are you going to do? So, Showdown's going to be a little slow again, and this is why I should have attached to Genesect, because now it's going to take 2 more turns to build him up. Whereas it wouldn't have... But he does bring up Sigilith. He can retreat the Sigilith into a Donphan, go for a spinning turn. It will only do 60 damage to us, so we will be able to live another one. And have I played my Sterling Megaphone yet? Let's see. I have not, and I don't know if it's actually in my deck or not. I can actually Plasma Energy onto my Genesect to bring up the Donphan with no energy on it, so that he's going to have to find a way to retreat it, either an energy for spinning turn or some kind of switching card. And then I can just play an N and see if we have Starly Megaphone in our deck, just to get rid of the Floatstone on the Sigilith. Doesn't look like it, but we do draw two energy cards, so that should work out for us. I will just end my turn here. I'm not too afraid of the Donphan being up here right now. He could get an energy. He does get the strong energy and a muscle band. That's bad, because now we are set up to be knocked out. It's really unfortunate. I will play the Mewtwo. And at this point, I'll have to retreat into Virizion and go for the... I really don't want to play my Plasma Energy, but I think I have to. Well, let's... At this point, we have to go for Broke, because there's no other way around it. So I will Emerald Slash, hope for the... We do have one more Grass Energy. So we'll be able to attach it to our Genesect. And although we won't be able to win, because if we take out one of the Donphans, the other one will take us out. He does Starly Megaphone, so that just seals the deal, really, because our G-Booster is now gone. And he does have Psychic Energies for the Sigil, and he does knock out Virizion as well, so that's really our goose cooked, but what are you going to do about it? Donphan is a really strong deck, and it's hard to retaliate against, but I will attach the Plasma Energy to Genesect. Yes, bring up the Donphan. I'm going to check my discard pile. I don't think we've played Shadow Triad yet, so unfortunately we won't be able to get back our G-Booster to get that final attack off, but I will just VS Seeker for Chorus, and I can deck myself out for funsies. I'm pretty sure it'll deck me out. It does not, actually. I still have 4 cards. That's upsetting. I can put the Starling Megaphone down. It won't really help at this point. It's what we've been fishing for this whole game, but I can then Ultra Ball away my Ultra Balls, just to see what we have left. But like I said, our goose is really cooked at this point. Shadow Triad was in the deck, so unfortunately, we don't get it. But we can just Megalo Cannon at this point. No more use in stalling. Hit both the Donphans just for spite. And then he'll be able to spinning turn to knock out my Genesect for the game. So unfortunately, we weren't able to pull this one off. I actually did beat a Donphan deck earlier, but for some reason, my editing software wouldn't upload that video or bring that video up. So this is what we turned out with. But I think I kind of showed you how the deck works. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to use Mega Manectric just because it's weak to Donphan, which is one of the drawbacks to Manectric. But hey, every card's weak to something for the most part. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on Pokemon TCGO. Bye!